Hey folks, welcome back. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. And a very disturbing trend, which isn't surprising, is cropping up here in the States more and more frequently. Now, I don't know if I'm pronouncing these words correctly in Afrikaans, but basically, leugenaars, betrayers, and outreders. So, liars, frauds, and betrayers. These are South Africans who, for whatever reason, are misleading, lying to other South Africans about the refugee program. And a lot of it, of course, on the South Africa side, but we're seeing it more and more on this side. We're seeing it from black racists in America who are making stupid videos about the refugee program. And now we're seeing it from a number of white South Africans who are already over here, approximately 120,000 white South Africans, or 120,000 South Africans, she's not white, but most of them white, living in America already before the refugee program kicked off. And apparently some of these people are bumhurt that they spent thousands of dollars to come over here and get a job and lived here for a period of time and paid a lot of money for their green card. And they're bumhurt that President Trump has offered refugee status to people. And so they distort and lie about stories. Now, I have no intention of making some of these people famous, but some of these videos are just absolutely ridiculous and asinine. Now, I wrote to one of the producers of video on a TikTok account a short while ago to ask where they heard. Now, this person said that there's a family, according to a Facebook group, that's living in a hotel that's refugees who have no food, no money, and they've been abandoned there and no one's helping them.
What you talking about, Willis?
And the content creators said, well, should I feel bad for them? The humanitarian in me. And then the person shows their true feelings as they go on and moan about how they did it the right way and how they got to come over here. Well, circumstances change and conditions change in the world. The world is not static. I bought a car at 1.75% interest. Other people paid 7% because they bought it at a different time. I had the good fortune of being in the market at the right time and had a good credit history. That's life. If you just paid, like a friend of mine who's one of my moderators, just paid tens of thousands of dollars to get a green card and come over here and work in the U.S., and now other people get to come over here, why are you bumhurt? Talk about sour grapes and very pissy attitudes. And look, I'm not exposing this person, but I may be inclined to do so depending on the response I get from the person. So if you're watching this, I suggest you not ignore my message and answer it properly. Otherwise, I will show people the ridiculous things you said. So that's just the latest one. The list goes on and on and on of people who are doing this stuff over here. Liars, frauds, and betrayers. So let's be very clear about what the purpose of the refugee program is. It's very clear. Published on the 12th of May, 2025 on the za.usembassy.gov website for the United States Embassy in South Africa. The refugee program is open to South African nationals who are of Afrikaner ethnicity or are a racial minority. If you can articulate a past instance or instances of racial discrimination, unjust racial discrimination, or a fear of future persecution or discrimination. That's what the program is. It is not a program designed for farmers, as the liars in the South African media say. It is not a program designed for Afrikaners. It is not a program designed for white people. The first group of 59 cohort had a colored couple in it. Nobody is reporting this still. It's now been nearly a month, 2 days away from a month since they arrived. And no South African media are admitting the truth that it was multiracial. Predominantly white, but multiracial group that came in the first batch. Nor have they even tried to scratch the surface and tell the truth about what the purpose of the program is. And now you have shameful South Africans who we've generously allowed to live in our midst who are bumhurt because they had to pay to get their way over here. Well, get over yourself. You're not that important. And these people are entitled to be here. That's what the law says. If you don't like our laws and you're on a green card, then get the f*** out. Leave. If your feelings hurt because other people get to come over here, I don't see you whining about Pakistanis or Bangladeshis or Burmese or Uyghurs coming to this country, but you're going to whine about your fellow South Africans? What kind of evil people do such things? Selfish people, that's who do it. Selfish people. Selfish people. Shame on you. Shame on all of you who are undermining and lying about this story. I want to know who these refugees are and where they're at. I won't share it publicly, but tell me. Contact me privately. Tell me which refugees are not getting assistance. First off, it's ludicrous. They don't have jobs. They don't have this. They've been here for 3 weeks. Her video was posted yesterday, by the way. The person who posted this video. They've been here 3 weeks. I'm sorry. We're talking about people that lived in South Africa for 17 years without a job in some cases. And they're here for 3 weeks, and you're going to complain. First off, this person in the video said that, well, I don't know this, I don't know that. Well, you're right, you don't know. You don't know anything. You're repeating some nonsense from a Facebook group trying to dissuade people from taking advantage of the program. I'm not encouraging anybody to take advantage of the program or participate, and I'm not discouraging anybody because I'm not dishonest like you are. Your opinions mean nothing. You know nothing about what you're talking about. The United States government spends $2.7 billion to $3 billion per year on refugee resettlement in the United States, paying non-government organizations around the country to help people get settled. I can point to multiple members of the first cohort of 59 who now have Social Security numbers. One who has a car that's only 2 years old. My car is 10 years old. I'm an American. And has a job already in less than 3 weeks. That person arrived at an apartment stocked with food. And then people brought more food and more food. Too much for one person. I can talk about a family in another part of the country in the same situation. No refugees are going hungry. No refugees are suffering in hotels. By this point, most, if not all of them, should be in their permanent housing, as per the way the system works. 3 weeks in. Honestly, if you were going to make a video and claim that a family had no food and they were being neglected, and you said it was 6 months after they arrived, there might be some credibility to your story, assuming you're telling the truth. But there's no credibility to this story. There's NGOs that deliver food to people in the early days of their arrival. No one goes hungry. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. And if you believe that and your feelings are hurt because you think they had some sort of expectation they're going to be handed things, that's where the true feelings came out from this person. Oh, they were expecting to be handed jobs. No. Stop that nonsense. Stop the nonsense. Most refugees that come to this country are the unwashed, the unclean. They have very little in the way of skills and can do nothing. And they wind up being unemployed or going to low-paying jobs. But we're talking about people from Yemen and Somalia and Bangladesh, not South Africans. South Africans here, less than a month, Social Security numbers, cars, apartments, jobs. And by the way, getting jobs that pay more than I made in 25 years of active military service, annual salary. So if you don't know what you're talking about, then don't talk about it. And stop being bumhurt that you had to pay your way over here, because that's the way the system works. Other South Africans can come over here right now if they do the same thing. But those who qualify for the refugee program are welcome here. And for you leugners, betrayers, and outreiders, shut up. Nobody needs to hear your nonsense. What say you, South Africa? What say you, Mzansi? Hey, folks in America, what do you say about these people trying to dissuade people and lie about the situation? Interesting, is it not?